leads me into my next point. You talked about Fanatics potentially streamlining the sports card industry, that you buy the box from Fanatics, maybe even grade the card, maybe even sell the card there. There's history with this guy, Josh Luber, who started StockX. Josh Luber, I don't think has any encouraging quotes about the mom and pop sneaker business. StockX doesn't support the mom and pop sneaker business. Fanatics doesn't support the mom and pop sports store. Google, mom and pop sports store in your town. Does that exist? Maybe if you're in Timbuktu, Ohio, but if you got a $18 million view behind you, I guarantee there's not a little mom and pop sports store up the street. That doesn't exist. And evidence of what you're talking about was in a CNBC, or again, maybe we're not pulling this stuff out of our butt, because there was a CNBC article about the quote deal that can't be talked about at the industry summit, that Fanatics acquired the MLB, NFL, Major League and NBA license. All of them took them from Panini. Okay? Fanatics is going to be the exclusive there in a few short years. CNBC had an article that had a little nugget, and I doubt CNBC was just pulling this out of their butt, that the way Fanatics sees it is that you buy your box or card on the Fanatics website, and then you could potentially have that card graded by Fanatics or through a third party that they're affiliated with or bought or own. And then you can sell that card on a Fanatics marketplace. Again, maybe one they create, maybe one that they purchase, partner with, however, and that the ecosystem all kind of runs through Fanatics. Whereas today, if you buy a card, where do you buy that card? Maybe you buy it from Blowout, maybe you buy it from a breaker, maybe you buy it from Target, maybe you get it from a bot, maybe you go to a card show, maybe you, who knows? But new product, especially this stuff that Fanatics is going to make, is all potentially going to run through them, through their ecosystem, through their channels. That's the way they run their sports business. Fanatics doesn't, Google Fanatics sports wholesale account. Can I get 49ers jerseys wholesale? Can I get, those type of products wholesale? I think it's actually very, very difficult, if not near impossible. Probably with enough money, you probably maybe could. I.e. buy an NFL team. But this is the talk, is that Fanatics is going to run the sports card business the same way they've run all their other businesses. Streamline it so it all goes to them. So that you have to buy the card, you have to grade it through them, you have to sell it through them, and they get percentage and fees and recurring revenue and your data and your information, and can email you and blast you and pre-sell you stuff and sell it to you direct. You don't need to go to the gatekeepers over at Blowout, over at these distributors, over at these group breakers, these chosen ones, these chosen fews, who for the last 20 to 30 years have monopolized the sports card industry. Well, and it makes a lot of sense. Think about Fanatics. They are in business and they have a huge catalog of jerseys, hats, t-shirts. Why would they want to funnel you over to Blowout Cards to buy on their website? Why would they want to funnel you out to a group breaker? Why would they want to funnel you out to a trading card shop? Because what they saw was, I think one of the things that they saw, I think they saw many things here, but I think some of the things that they saw was there was Fanatic exclusive Panini products that was launched on Fanatics. I think what Fanatics saw was, hey, this customer came to us and it was potentially a new customer or maybe a very active and invigorated customer, and they've been able to sell that customer other things. So a jersey for him, maybe a jersey for his kid, maybe something for the wife, maybe something as a gift, maybe something around Christmas time. They understand all this. You don't run an e-commerce business and don't understand where your customers are coming from and the lifetime value of that. And I think that's what Fanatics really saw, especially in the longer run, is that, look, we can put these products on our website, draw in a lot of customers that will not only buy this trading card product, but then buy our other products that has turned our company into, I think, $18 billion valuation on it. So I think that was really the driving motivation behind this. And on top of that, they can add value by, like you said, vertically integrated the entire hobby. The entire hobby is completely scatterbrained. You have group breaking over here. You have grading over here. You have making the cards over here. You have buying the cards here, here, and here. And even more importantly, you have selling and trading of the cards happening on a lot of different sites. Well, if one company could integrate all of that, where they make the card, they authenticate the card, they grade the card, they can potentially customize the card, then they get you to sell the card. I think even open the packs there on the line. Then you can trade your card, and then finally at some point maybe you take delivery of that card. But after that entire step has happened, they take 5% here, 6% here, 10% here, 12% here, and then all of a sudden a single purchase turns into a far more profitable venture than what Topps and Panini have been able to execute over the last several years, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a very good point. And Josh Luber's quote was, the shops, whatever it was, shops are lifeblood of the industry, and so on and so forth. I feel like people are, knock Panini, Topps, and Upper Deck to a degree for not supporting the shops. I think they're going to look back in a few years and be like, wow, Topps and Panini actually, hooked it up for shops. I don't know, a lot of people know this, but so let's say you start a shop and you get a direct relationship with, let's talk about the Topps. When I went to the Topps conference, I think if you committed to it, you could get a case of every single Topps baseball product at wholesale cost. And let's be clear, every baseball product that has come out, what do you think in the last 2 or 3 years sells for what? At least double? Not big league, not this, the junk, but I'm talking about 90% of the stuff, what, sells for at least double? At least double, and you're definitely not losing your money. Maybe after fees, it might not be quite that much. But you're not losing any money. You're not losing any money. So basically, they're literally gifting every shop a case of product at basically, half what they could sell it for. That's the deal that you could get. I could almost assuredly tell you that that's not going to be a deal at Fanatics. Fanatics is not going to be, hey, open this shop or open this fake shop in the back of your warehouse where you just break cards or you just run an online business. There's a lot of fake shops out there. A lot of these group breakers who, quote, have a hobby shop that's fake. Just so they can get allocation, just so they can get a direct account from Panini at Topps, because that is valuable. I can guarantee you in a few years, that's not going to be a deal at Fanatics. Fanatics is not going to throw you a case of every single product they make so that you could go double your money in your stupid store. So I think people are going to look back in a few years and be like, wow, Panini and Topps actually did a lot. Fanatics probably came in and, like you said, saw the value in that. Saw that not really the value, saw that, Panini and Topps were kind of giving away a lot of this business. Giving a lot of business to Blowout Cards and DA Card World and Tom Fish and making distributors rich. Rich! Making group breakers rich. Why didn't Topps and Panini hire their own breakers and break everything on their own site? Funnel all that through them. Maybe they would have had more money when MLB came calling and needed more money. Instead, it's all in the pocket of Fish, DA, Steel City, GTS, Southern Hobby, Group Breakers. Not a lot of that money flowed back into the companies. Fanatics saw that. Fanatics is going to change that. Fanatics is going to streamline it all. They're not going to give money to the blowouts and the DAs and the breakers. You guys who have leveraged your businesses essentially on a relationship with either a distributor or Panini and Topps are going to be screwed. Regardless if Fanatics buys those companies and hires DJ and hires Chris and hires those GTS guys, things are going to be run differently because you can't spend the money Fanatics did and keep giving you guys and making you guys rich. That doesn't make any sense. So the 2021 Industry Summit was an absolute disaster. They didn't want any information out there. which again is the history of the event, so I guess we shouldn't be surprised at that. They didn't want to talk about the landmark deal because it's quote-unquote not official. And they don't want to give you guys the truth. So it's a joke. It's a laughing stock. Brian Gregg did his speech today. Did you hear anything about that? No. Because he was buying top stock the day they lost the MLB license. So that shows you how much inside information he knows. These guys are lost. They got hit over the head by Michael Rubin. An $18 billion business came in and wiped out the entire sports card industry. And I think the industry's still reeling over it. They still don't want to talk about it even. Yep. So it's an absolute joke. We're sitting out here on Sports Card Radio. I'll guess this is at least, to you guys sitting out there in Timbuktu, Ohio, at least an $18 million view.